Guten Tag, werte Gäste der Maison-Manga. Ich heiße euch herzlich willkommen zu Bloodborne. Aber nicht auf der PlayStation 4, weil das die einzige Konsole ist, wo dieses Spiel momentan immer noch drauf ist, sondern auf dem PC. Bloodborne für den PC. Unglaublich, gab es das jemals schon vorher? Hier in diesem Fall ja. Ich habe mich dafür entschieden, heute Bloodborne zu spielen, weil ich kenne Bloodborne grob. Ich war nicht wirklich gut darin damals. Die meiste Zeit hat ein Kumpel gespielt. Ich mag die Stimmung. Ich mag dieses H.P. Lovecraftsche, diese Kombination, diese Düsternis. Und ich glaube, das hat viele in seinen Bann gezogen. Und ich wollte das gute Yarnam einfach mal selber besuchen. Ich habe gedacht, ich gehe da einfach mal jetzt vorbei, oder? Ich meine, warum nicht? Und das mache ich heute mit einer Webseite, die hört auf den Namen AI Dungeon. Die habe ich schon lange im Blick. Aber ich wollte jetzt einfach mal, da ich mich jetzt so grob ein bisschen damit auskenne, mal ein bisschen was machen. AI Dungeon funktioniert relativ simpel. Beziehungsweise es gibt Leute, die erschaffen Szenarien. Schlicht und ergreifend ist das quasi so eine Art KI-generierter Pen and Paper. Die Website ist kostenlos. Es ist kein Exploit oder sowas. Ich weiß nicht mal, ob man überhaupt Geld für ausgeben kann, aber wenn, würde ich sowieso sowas nie machen. Aber man kann einfach mal gucken, was die Leute so gemacht haben, weil da gibt es manche, die schreiben da Geschichten in bekannten Franchises. Ne? Da könnt ihr zum Beispiel Jujutsu Kaisen Roleplay machen. Da könnt ihr euren eigenen Charakter erstellen und dann in der Welt von Jujutsu Kaisen abgehen. Sowas zum Beispiel, ja. Oder Genshin. Oder sonst was. Ihr könnt einfach einen eigenen Charakter erstellen oder ihr selber sein oder was auch immer. Und dann loslegen. Und manche Stories, wie diese von Bloodborne, legen einfach komplett los. Ohne Charakter zu erstellen, weil, naja, wir sind halt irgendwie gefühlt der namenlose Protagonist in Bloodborne und damit, so wird es jetzt wohl sein. Es sei denn, wir werden nach einem Namen gefragt oder so. Das Ganze ist überwiegend, oder ich glaube fast nur ausschließlich auf Englisch. Aber wir machen das einfach mal. Wir machen mal ein bisschen Roleplay. Ja, tut ja niemandem weh. Und das ist so quasi, es tut bei weitem kein Pen and Paper mit vielen Leuten und mit einem Gruppenleader und so weiter ersetzen, in keinster Form. Aber es ist ein nettes für zwischendurch mal ausprobieren und einfach mal kein Videospiel in dem Sinne zu spielen, sondern ein Gedankenspiel, kann man fast sagen. Und wir fangen einfach mal an. Ich werde mein bestmöglichstes Englisch geben. Die Übersetzung würde ich einfach mal lassen. Zum einen, weil die automatische Übersetzung grottenfurchtbar ist. Und zum anderen, weil ich nicht so aktiv gut übersetzen kann. Also wenn ihr kein Englisch könnt, dann wird das leider kein Video für euch sein dieses Mal. Aber wie gesagt, wenn es das auf Deutsch gegeben hätte, hätte ich das natürlich auf Deutsch gemacht. So, dann fangen wir mal an, oder? Bloodborne. Für die Leute, die es nicht kennen, können ja mal kurz einen Trailer angucken oder kurz Bilder googeln. Ist auf jeden Fall so eine Art, ist ein Action... Ist es ein Role-Playing-Game? Eigentlich nicht, oder? Das ist ein Action-Adventure-Game, ähnliches Ding, wo du durch eine, ja, wir können es einfach vorlesen, weil ich glaube, am Anfang steht es da. Bloodborne is a 2015 action roleplay game developed by From Software and published by Sony Computer Entertainment for the PlayStation 4. The game follows a hunter, oder Hunter, wie es die Leute da drin immer sagen. The game follows a hunter through the decrepit Gothic Victorian era inspired city of Yarnam, whose Inhabitants are afflicted with a blood-borne disease which transforms the residents, called Yarnamites, into horrific beasts. Attempting to find the source of the plague, the player's characters unravels the city's mysteries while fighting beasts and cosmic beings. Ooh. Okay, let's go. You strolled through Yarnam looking for food, and despite starvation, you're looking for a group of people to follow. You collapsed on the hard, rocky ground. Before passing out, you see a girl with red, black, white and gold on her. Das sind aber viele Farben. The cold of the stone seeps into your bones as you lie there half-conscious. Your vision swims, darkening at the edges. The girl with the distinctive colors stands just out of reach, watching you with an unreadable expression. She wears a tattered dress in the same pattern, red, black, white and gold, swirling together like a blood-stained tapestry. Her eyes, dark and unyielding, meet yours. You force yourself up on unsteady arms, head pounding. Please, you rasp, voice hoarse from thirst and exhaustion. Exhaustion. Can you help me? The girl doesn't move immediately. She observes you with the detached curiosity of a scholar examining a specimen. Ich werde manchmal Dinge falsch aussprechen, das möchte ich schon mal sagen. Für mich ist das auch anstrengend. Ich gebe aber, wie gesagt, mein Bestes, dass es nicht ganz furchtbar klingt. Aber ich weiß, es ist trotzdem Englisch von einem Deutschen gesprochen. Es klingt immer ein bisschen seltsam. Okay, I know it. I try my best. Okay, und das ist unsere Situation. Jetzt können wir Dinge tun. Jetzt können wir agieren, wir können uns bewegen, rennen oder was auch immer. Wir können aber auch Dinge sagen. Wir können sagen, hallo, ne, was geht? Und wir können selber, falls uns die Richtung der Story nicht so ganz passt, können wir die Story quasi angehen. Wir können auch sie machen, da können wir dann quasi Bilder hochladen. Das lasse ich jetzt einfach mal für die Session, weil da habe ich jetzt nichts vorbereitet und außerdem, ehrlich gesagt, das habe ich noch nie gemacht. Aber theoretisch könntest du sagen, du ladest ein Bild hoch und dann sagst du, das siehst du jetzt, was auf diesem Bild ist. I guess. So. Was machen wir denn? Ich frage einfach mal ganz, where am I? What happened to me? Who are you? Who are you? So. Und dann rattert das. Das dauert meistens gar nicht so lang, je nachdem wie die Server sind, sollte das eigentlich relativ schnell funktionieren. Und dann haben wir auch schon die nächste Antwort, die da heißt: The girl tilts her head slightly as if weighing. Nochmal. The girl tilts her head slightly as if weighing your words. You are in Yarnam, she finally answers, speaking with an accent that curls around each syllable like smoke. A city of blood and dying things. She steps closer, her dress whispering against the cobblestones. You have been bitten. Turned. Your stomach lurches. The memory of fangs sinking into your shoulder rushes back, followed by the strange fever that left you burning and chilled by turns. You hadn't been bitten by an animal, you'd been attacked by one of them. One of the maddened people you'd seen stumbling through the streets, eyes wild with bloodlust. And you? Und ich kann zum Beispiel auch Continue machen, dann muss ich einfach gar nichts schreiben und die Geschichte geht einfach mal noch ein bisschen selber von alleine voran. Wir nehmen übrigens alles, was passiert. Also wir werden nichts ändern. Wir können auch Retry machen, theoretisch, aber wir nehmen die ganze Geschichte so, wie sie kommt. She smiles, but there's no warmth in it. I'm Anka, a hunter of beasts. Her fingers toys with a silver pendant at her throat, cold metal glinting against pale skin. I do not fear what you are becoming. A sudden gust of wind carries the metallic tang of blood from somewhere in the alleyways. You taste copper as your gums ache, something inside you shifting, changing. Your vision flickers with after images of red. When you blink, the world looks sharper, colors more vivid. The girl's face is porcelain against gloom, her eyes like polished onyx. She watches your reaction with clinical interest. You feel it now, don't you? I never felt that way before. What is happening to me? Wir fangen schon mal direkt in einer sehr beschissenen Ausgangsposition an, dafür, dass ich rumlaufen will und Monster kloppen will. Wurde ich schon direkt gebissen, gleich zu Beginn. Anka's smile widens, not with amusement, but with the cold satisfaction of a scientist observing a successful experiment. The blood is waking in you, she says, crouching down to meet your eyes. Her fingers twitch with the urge to examine you, as if resisting the impulse requires effort. The disease that drives Yarnum mad flows through your veins now. It will transform you. Your throat burns as your tongue feels too large for your mouth. When you swallow, something slick and warm slides down your esophagus. Blood, your own blood changing. You can feel it in your fingers, in the tightening of your muscles, in the way your vision pulses with every heartbeat. The first time is always the worst. Okay. Okay. Schauen wir mal, wie es weitergeht. Also bisher, ja, passt perfekt zu dieser Welt einfach. Die ganze Welt will dich tot sehen. Selbst die Welt selber. Also ich meine, perfektes 10 out of 10 Bloodborne Opening Experience. Anka's words take on an almost clinical detachment as she continues. Your body will reject the injection at first, fighting against what it sees as an invasion. Fever, chills, muscle spasms. But eventually it will accept the change. You will become one of the hunted, rather than the hunter. The wind carries distant screams and a rhythmic clashing of metal on metal. Battle somewhere in the city. The girl's hand moves to the hilt of her sword, and her attention flicks away from you momentarily. When she turns back, her face sets in a mask. We don't have much time. There are others coming. Werde ich jetzt umgefragt? Okay, pass auf. I try to control my inner beast with everything I got. Komm, lass mich ein bisschen wehren. Ich will nicht zu einem Werwolf werden. Nicht gleich zu Beginn. Oder lass es mich als Skill nutzen oder sowas. Your muscles lock as you fight the transformation. Teeth clenched so hard your jaws aches. Sweat runs down your back in rivers as you wrestle with the thing inside you. A storm of rage and hunger threatening to tear through your skin. Your fingers dig into the cobblestone, tearing at them like claws. Anka watches with clinical fascination. Und ja, manche Sachen werden sich ständig wiederholen. Das ist eine KI-Krankheit, okay? As your eyes flicker from human brown to something darker. Flecks of red bleeding into the irises. Interesting, she murmurs. Most give in immediately. Their humanity burns away in minutes. She crouches beside you, close enough that you can smell the iron scent of old blood on her. But you're fighting it. Oh, pass auf, ich habe eine gute Idee. I say, rather than losing to the beast, inside me, I would... Nee, warte mal. Andersrum. Before losing to the beast inside... Meine E-Taste funktioniert übrigens manchmal nicht. Before losing to the beast inside me, I would rather learn to control it. Irgendwie, oder? Also wenn ich schon mich in Werwolf verwandle, dann will ich ihn einfach lieber kontrollieren. Anka's eyebrows rise slightly, the first real sign of surprise on her normally impassive face. Ich mag Anka irgendwie jetzt schon. Ich finde das voll der coole Charakter, der hier jetzt einfach mal so reingebracht wird. Super gut. Control, she repeats, tasting the word. She studies your expressions, searching for deception or madness. Finding none, she nods once. You're stronger than most. The beast inside you surges against your control, sending waves of heat through your body. Your vision pulses with every heartbeat, blood vessels standing out like black wires beneath your skin. You force yourself to breathe, slowly, evenly, as you've seen the hunters do. Anka watches your technique with keen interest. There is potential, she concedes after a moment, but control is a weapon that must be learned. Okay. Das ist gerade ein bisschen spannend, ne? Was passiert jetzt mit mir? She reaches into the folds of her dress and produces a small vial containing what appears to be blood. Your nose twitches at the coppery aroma. Drink this, she commands, uncorking the vial. It will help stabilize the changes. Give you time to learn before the hunger overwhelms you completely. Your hand shakes as you take it from her. The liquid inside is thick, almost gelatinous. When you raise it to your lips, Anka's hand catches your wrist. Her grip is deceptively strong. Once you swallow, there is no going back, she warns. The first time always comes with pain. This merely ensures you survive it enough to master it what follows. Ich nehme es hoffentlich an. You bring the vial to your lips, the liquid within sluggish and vicious. It tastes like iron and something older, more primal. Fire spreads through your throat and chest, burning like acid as it moves through you. Your body convulses, muscles locking in spasms. Your vision darkens at the edges as the transformation intensifies. Your bones crack, reforming slightly. Your teeth elongate just enough to make your gums ache. The world smells suddenly overwhelming. Every scent heightened to painful clarity. Anka's steady? Yeah. Oh God. Anka steadies you as you stumble. Her hands form on your shoulders. Breathe, she commands, her words cutting through the roaring in your eyes. The pain will pass. I try my best. Mit 3 Ausrufezeichen, damit sie weiß, dass ich schreie. The transformation grips you, your body convulsing as bones crack and reform. Your vision blurs, then sharpens with an almost painful clarity. You can feel every fiber of your being changing, your muscles growing stronger, your senses more acute. The beast inside you surges, threatening to break free, but you hold firm. Anka's grip on your shoulders tightens as you sway. Her eyes narrow with a mix of curiosity and concern. Your will is strong, she says, but the blood will not be denied forever. Through the haze of pain, you notice her hand sliding to the hilt of her sword, ready to strike if you lose control. Okay, pass auf. I bite into my arm to, oh, Englisch, oh, warte mal, wie heißt das nochmal? To detract myself from the beast trying to conquer my inner self. So. Also ich beiß mir jetzt in die Hand, damit ich mich spüre. The moment your teeth sink into your own flesh, pain flares white hot through... White hot? Hätte ich noch nie gehört. Flares white hot through your body. Copper floods your mouth as you tear a chunk from your arm. Muscles locking in agony as the transformation rages within you. The beast inside recoils slightly at the pain, momentarily stunned by the shock of self-inflicted damage. Anka watches with clinical detachment as blood sprays from your wound, though her fingers tighten imperceptibly on her sword hilt. Interesting, she murmurs. Pain can disrupt the transformation's flow. But for how long? Your vision swims as you swallow your own blood, the taste metallic and thick. The pain is blinding, but it anchors you. Your body shudders as the beast writhes beneath your skin. Momentarily confused by the jarring contradiction, pain and blood, both enemies and fuel. Your fingers dig into your thighs as you force yourself to remain upright. Good, Anka says, sounding almost approving. The pain is real, the blood is real, focus on that. She steps closer, speaking more quietly. The beast wants to change you into something mindless, but your mind is still your own. Use it. Your breath comes in ragged gasps as you struggle to control the tremors wrecking your body. I try to think of being a human. You try to think. Ja, warte mal. You try to think. Warte mal. Was könnte ich jetzt machen? I think I've done it. I no longer feel the beast inside me. Das klingt falsch, aber ihr wisst, was ich damit meine. Anka scrutinizes you intentionally, studying your stance, your breathing, the way your body still trembles with the aftershocks of transformation. The steps around you in a slow circle, her boots crunching on the blood-streaked cobblestones. Her gaze bores into yours with the intensity of a hawk tracking prey. You're wrong, she says finally, though not unkindly. It's still there. It always will be. Her gloved hand presses against your chest, fingers splaying over your pounding heart. The blood will never leave you now, but you've managed to cage it. For now. Okay. Das heißt, ich hab's schon mal... Also wie sehe ich jetzt eigentlich aus? How do I look to you? Do I look different? Do I look different now? Also ich habe ein bisschen Angst, dass ich mich jetzt in irgendwas Gruseliges verwandelt habe. Deswegen frage ich mal nach, weil ich weiß gerade nicht, wie ich aussehe. Anka's lips curl into something between a smile and a grimace. She steps back. examining you with the clinical detachment of a physician making notes on a patient's symptoms. Her gaze traces the line of your jaw, the way your fingers still flex with unnatural strength, the faint red tint that now colors your irises. "You look changed," she says finally. "Your skin is darker, almost grayish. Your eyes." She pauses, tilting her head slightly. Was denn, ist das hier? Ist das hier Bakemonogatari oder was? "They remind me of wolves in the deep woods, the way they reflect what little light remains." Her hand lifts, hovering just above your face without touching. "Your bones have shifted ever so slightly." How many people did you see surviving a bite from those creatures without turning into a monster? Man will sich ja irgendwie die Chancen reinreden, ne? Also irgendwie so, war das jetzt geil, was ich geschafft habe? Oder können das alle öfter mal? Anka's face darkens, the first genuine emotion breaking through her clinical mask. She looks away for a moment towards the distant battle sounds where smoke rises from burning buildings. When she turns back, her gaze has hardened. "Fewer than you might hope," she admits, "and fewer still who survive as what you are now. Most either become mindless predators or perish in the initial transformation." She steps closer, speaking more softly. You've managed to preserve your mind where others couldn't. That's why I'm helping you instead of killing you outright." Her hand moves to the hilt of her sword, the leather of her glove creaking. "But understand this, survival comes with a price." Okay. Aber es ist schon wieder... Warum ist denn eigentlich immer mein Laptop ist immer so scheiß laut? Vielleicht kann ich das irgendwie ändern? Warte mal. Gib mir einen Moment. Das ist nämlich immer sehr, sehr laut. Na, komm. So, ich muss nur ein bisschen das vielleicht... das Problem bei Laptops ist immer, dass die ja direkt auf dem Boden liegen. Oder auf dem Tisch. Hoffentlich hört man das Gebläse nicht so laut. Ansonsten kann ich leider auch nichts dafür. Ich weiß auch nicht, warum das momentan immer so ist. Auch jedes Mal beim Aufnehmen wird auch richtig warm. Was normal ist, wenn er aufnimmt, aber er muss schon gerade ziemlich viel Power geben. Lass mich mal kurz was trinken. Nur ein bisschen Blut trinken hier. She moves closer, speaking softly. Every night will be a battle. The moon calls to the blood in your veins, and when it's full, she pauses, studying your reaction, you will want to kill. The hunger will become unbearable. The only question is whether you can control it, or whether you become another monster, stalking these streets. Anka's fingers tighten around her sword hilt. I've seen what happens when they lose control. Entire villages reduced to bones. Children's screams echoing through the woods. Her jaw clenches. Don't think this makes you special. It just means you're learning to delay the inevitable. She looks away toward the distant smoke. Even if what you say is true, maybe I can help you and the other townsfolk. Ich glaube, schreibt man so. In something. I would rather use my power for good. And if I can't control myself anymore, you would be there to instantly kill me. What do you think? Ich finde, das ist ein gutes Argument. Also ich weiß, dass ich mich nicht komplett kontrollieren kann. Und es kann sein, dass ich durchdrehe. Aber wenn ich immer quasi an ihrer Seite bin und, ne, dann könnte sie mich instant töten. Und dadurch könnte ich quasi von Nutzen sein, aber ich könnte genauso gut auch keine Gefahr sein, weil jemand sofort da ist und mich umbringen kann. Anka's eyes narrow as she considers your words, the firelight glinting of the silver rings on her fingers. She studies you with renewed intensity, as if weighing the risk against the potential. The sounds of battle grow fainter as night settles, but her posture remains tense, ready. If you truly wish to help, she begins, speaking more quietly, the town needs defenders. The creatures that hunt here grow bolder each season. She turns, gesturing toward a dark shape lying in the shadows, a sword partially buried in the dirt. Take up that blade. Show me you can wield it without slaughtering everything in sight. You step forward and pull the sword free, feeling its balance. Das ist schon mal cool. Wir haben ein Schwert. I look at the sword, at the new sword in my hand. So. Wie sieht das Schwert aus? Komm. The sword feels alive in your grip, the metal vibrating slightly as your transformed muscles react to its presence. The steel is older than you, worn from years of use, but still serviceable. The fuller runs down the center, catching what little light remains, and the crossguard is decorated with a simple pattern of overlapping rings. It's not much, Anka says, watching how you handle it, but it will serve for now. She draws her own blade, a sleeker weapon with a narrow blade that speaks of practiced precision, rather than brute force. The handle has been rubbed in wolfsbane and silver thread. The metal itself has been tempered with blessed water from the old shrine. Oh, okay, also, dass ich mich im Griff habe, verstehe. Anti-Werwolf-Kram. Warte mal. Nee, warte mal. Achso, das hat jetzt... Oh, das hat nicht sie jetzt gesagt, sondern... das war die Erklärung. You turn the sword. Ach, das ist... Ach, das ist mein Schwert. Warte mal, nee, nee, das ist ihr Schwert. A sleeker weapon with a narrow blade that speaks of practice precision better. The handle has been... Nee, doch, sie sagt das. The handle has been rubbed in wolfsbane and silver thread. The metal itself has been tempered with blessed water from the old shrine. Das ist meine Waffe. Okay. You turn the sword over in your hands, feeling its weight shifts as you adjust your grip. The wolfsbane wafts up subtly, its bitter scent mixing with the coppery smell of your own blood. The blade catches the moonlight, and you notice faint runes etched along its length. too small to read, but their presence hums through the metal. Anka moves with fluid grace, her boot crunching against gravel as she positions herself in front of you. Let's see if you can remember how to use one of these, she says, raising her blade in a neutral stance. Her eyes study your every move with the intensity of a hunter tracking prey. I try to remember... Oopalada. I try to remember how to wield a sword correctly and show her with a nod that I'm ready. That I'm ready to test it. So. Ich weiß ja nicht, ich gehe jetzt, ich sag mal, ich gehe einfach mal von aus, ich weiß grob, wie man mit einem Schwert umgeht. Da. Anka watches your stance with the sharp-eyed intensity of the master judging an apprentice's first steps. Her own blade doesn't waver as she circles you slowly, her boots making nearly no sound on the blood-stained cobblestones. The wind picks up, carrying the smell of smoke and burning flesh from the distant battle. Your grip is too tight, she says, her blade flicking toward in a testing motion that stops just short of your throat. You're gripping this sword like it's going to slip away. Her sword pulls back, then strikes again in a feint toward your ribs that you instinctively parry. Not bad, she admits, though her face remains stern. But your movements are too... slow? She pauses, searching for the right words, as she feints left and then lunges right, forcing you to stumble back. Too human. You're fighting like a man who's never had to kill to survive. Her blade traces an arc towards your shoulder, stopping just short of the fabric of your shirt. You need to fight like a wolf, predatory, merciless. Anka steps back and resets her stance, gesturing with her free hand. Show me how you would attack, not as a trained swordsman, but as what you are now. Her gaze narrows slightly. Let the beast show you the way. You take a breath, feeling the sword's weight shift in your hands. Ja, dann mach mal was. Dann schauen wir mal. Sword's handle feels suddenly perfect in your grip, as if designed for your transformed hand. Your vision sharpens, the darkness becomes clearer. You can see the individual fibers of Anka's shirt fluttering in the wind. Smell the iron in her blood. Hear the rapid beat of her heart. You move before thinking, blade flashing out in a deadly arc towards her neck. Anka parries with effortless grace, stepping inside your guard before you can adjust. Her knee slams into your stomach, driving the air from your lungs. She twists her sword, the pointing coming to rest against your jugular. Better, she hisses, though you can see the blood now coursing visibly through her veins. Das ist schon cool, oder? Das ist schon ein bisschen cool. Your lungs burn as you stagger back, the sword feeling suddenly weightless in your grip. You wipe your mouth with the back of your hand. It comes away smeared red with your own blood, forced up by the blow. Anka doesn't lower her guard, her blade remaining poised between you, but her expression shifts slightly. You're learning, she says, studying you with the renewed interest. Your reflexes are faster now. Your strikes more purposeful. She adjusts her stance, the sword still at the ready. But you're holding back. I can see it in your eyes, the hesitation when you could have pressed your advantage. That's the difference between surviving and living. Hearing her words, I try to attack her more like a like a wild animal would. I try to use my instincts rather than my brain. Ich hoffe, man kann das ungefähr verstehen, was ich damit meine. Your muscle tense as you lunge forward with savage intensity, the sword becoming an extension of your arm. Anka parries with a sudden shift of her weight, her blade meeting yours with a metallic ring that echoes through the dark street. The impact sends a jolt up your arm, but you press forward, using your great strength to push her back. She stumbles slightly, boots scraping against the cobblestones, and you see genuine surprise cross her face. The sword flashes again, a downward slash that narrowly deflects. This time you don't pause. You follow through with another strike aimed at her torso, then a feint toward her face before cutting low at her legs. Also ich mach grad nur halt in gut. Ich greife grad alles an, was geht. Anka's movements blur as she dodges your attacks, but you can see the strain beginning to show. Her breathing, sagt man eigentlich Briefing oder Breathing? Breathing, egal. Her breathing grows heavier, and a thin line of sweat traces down her temple. When you feint left, she anticipates it this time, but your actual strike to her right side catches her off guard. The tip of your blade rips through her sleeve, drawing a thin line of blood. She curses under her breath, stepping back to put a distance between you. Now we're getting somewhere, she says, though her face remains hard. The blood dripping from her arm onto the cobblestone draws your attention, your nostrils flaring. She notices and her grip tightens on her sword. Nein! Ignorier doch das Blut! Oh. Wer will was von mir? Okay. Your muscles coil like a spring as you circle her, your transformed vision picking up every micro-expression crossing her face. The subtle shift in her stance, the way her pupils dilate. She knows what you're becoming, what you're capable of, and you can see it in the way she tenses, ready to kill you at the first sign of real danger. You're fighting like a wolf now, she says, her blade flicking in another testing feint. But a wolf still thinks like a wolf. You need to think like a hunter. You lunge, and this time she doesn't parry. She sidesteps, her footwork perfect as your blade cleaves an empty air. I hear her words and try to mix my instincts of the wild beast with the skills and speed of a hunter. Ich bin, also was das angeht, bin ich jetzt einfach mal gefühlter, keine Ahnung, Ditto-Isekai-Protagonist, I guess. Weil sonst wird es wahrscheinlich 100.000 Jahre besprochen, der Kampf, und ich will irgendwann mal auch vielleicht noch ein bisschen weitermachen. Your movements flow with deadly precision as you become something between beast and predator. Anka's face shows grudging respect as you move, your strikes no longer wild but calculated, each swing powered by the strength of your transformed body. When you lunge, it's not blind aggression but a feint meant to draw her into the trap. When you retreat, it's with the silent grace of a wolf slipping into shadow. She meets your das ist so geil geschrieben, by the way. She meets your attacks with growing urgency. Her parries becoming more desperate as she realizes you're no longer just reacting to her moves. Now you're reading her patterns, anticipating her next defensive stance before she takes it. Ooh. Ooh. The blade flashes and you feel the wind of her dodge as she moves with the fluidity of a seasoned warrior. But you're faster now, your transformed body allowing to track her every movement with predatory focus. She launches a series of quick thrusts, trying to catch you off guard, but you deflect them easily. Your blade moving with lethal precision. Better, she breathes, her words laced with exertion. But not enough. Her sword whips out in a wide arc, forcing you to stumble back. The blade catches your shirt, ripping fabric as she presses her advantage. The air fills with the metallic smell of blood and the coppery tang of your own sweat. Nee, wisst ihr was? Mal gucken, was jetzt passiert. Ich will noch wissen, mache ich noch was oder werde ich jetzt besiegt? She presses forward, forcing you onto the defensive as her blade weaves an intricate pattern in the air. But now, when she lunges, you don't retreat. You move inside her attack, your body twisting with the fluid grace of something that was never meant to be human. Your sword comes up and she has to backpedal to avoid it. The tip of your blade traces a red line across her cheek, drawing a thin line of blood that glistens in the moonlight. Good, she hisses, though her breath is ragged now. Blood trickles from her cheek, mingling with the sweat on her skin. She wipes it away with the back of her hand, her eyes locked onto yours. Okay. Willst du mich jetzt angreifen? Oder werde ich weiter angreifen? Das ist die große Frage. Your blood surges hot and thick through your veins as you see the blood on her face. The primal part of you that has taken over hungers to see more, taste more. Anka sees it in your eyes and her stance shifts subtly, her blade rising higher. You want to kill me, she says, not as a question but as a statement. She speaks with more breathless intensity. Good. That means you're finally beginning to understand what you are. She launches a flurry of strikes, testing your defenses. You meet each one, your sword moving with deadly precision. When she feints left, you don't parry, you lunge forward, blade aimed straight for her heart. Ich bin erbarmungslos. Ich bin, glaube ich, im kompletten Modus. She gasps, not in pain, but in surprise as your sword pierces the space where she had been standing, the fabric of her shirt catching on the tip. You smell the sudden spike of adrenaline from her body. See the rapid pulse in her throat as she narrowly awaits your strike. Her boot scrapes against the cobblestones as she stumbles backwards, her chest heaving. You are learning. She breathes, wiping blood from her split lip. The cut on her cheek has reopened from exertion, a thin red line trailing down to her jaw. Your speed is remarkable. She studies you with renewed intensity, her gaze flickering across your transformed features. Ich glaube, ich mache jetzt hier mal, Storytime, weil sonst kämpfen wir, geht das jetzt die ganze Zeit hin und her. Without a next warning, she lunges at you, forcing you easily to the ground, pointing her sword at you. It seems like she is way stronger than she claimed to be. So. Manchmal ist mein Englisch nicht, aber ich meistens weiß die KI mit meinem groben Englisch umzugehen oder weiß, was ich sagen will. You hit the ground hard, the cold stone biting into your back as Anka presses you down with effortless strength. Her knee digs into your chest, pinning you in a place as her blade comes to rest against your throat. The sharp edge bites into your skin, drawing a thin line of blood that wells up immediately. You still think you can win? She asks, her voice low and dangerous. Up close you can see the way her pupils have dilated, the rapid flutter of her pulse at her throat. Her blood is on your lips, now the metallic taste mingling with the sweat on her skin. You can smell the adrenaline in her body. She's excited by this, by the struggle. You don't. You don't answer? Okay. Instead you move. Your transformed bodies obey instinctively, muscles coiling and twisting with inhuman speed. In a single fluid motion, you arc your back, throwing her off balance. She reacts instantly, shifting her weight to maintain control, but you roll with the motion, using her momentum against her. Your shoulder slams into her side as you rise, sending her sprawling across the cobblestones. Her sword clatters from her grip, skittering away into the darkness. She curses as she scrambles backwards, pressing a hand to her ribs where you struck her. Blood trickles from the corner of her mouth now, her breathing wrecked. What the fuck? Okay. Well, that escalated quickly. She rises to her feet with surprising speed, but her movements are slower now. Her stance less fluid. You can see it in the way her fingers tighten against the cobblestones and the slight hitch of her breath as she inhales. She's tiring. The realization sends a thrill through you. You're still standing, you're still fighting, and now you can see the exact moment when she's realizing she's losing. Her face shifts suddenly. Something like respect flickers across her features, but it's quickly replaced by something harder. Well, she says, wiping blood from her chin, looks like you're not quite the helpless thing I thought you were. You don't answer. The words hang between you, thick, with something more than just battle. Anka's chest rises and falls rapidly as she steadies herself, and you notice how her fingers twitch toward the dagger at her belt. But she doesn't reach for it. Instead, she meets your gaze with an expression that's unreadable, something between fury and fascination. You're enjoying this, she says, more statement than question. She licks blood from her split lip, her tongue flashing red in the moonlight. Your silence is answer enough. Your silence is answer enough. The predator in you recognizes the wounded animal before you, and it sends a shudder of excitement through your transformed body. So. But before you claim your victory and try to kill her. Nee. Oh, ist was runtergefallen. Nee, machen wir es anders da. Your inner beast is bloodthirsty and wants to kill her. But you stay strong and calm down and signalize her that the fight is over now. Okay. The bloodlust burns in your veins like a liquid fire, your transformed body quivering with the need to finish what it started. Every instinct screams at you to lunge, to sink your teeth into the soft flesh of her throat, to taste the hot copper of her life blood. but you force the beast back, channeling the rage into something controlled. Your muscles lock, then release, the heat of battle cooling just enough for reason to return. You straighten from your crouch, lowering your sword slowly as you meet Anka's eyes. She hasn't moved, still crouched on the cobblestones, blood trickling down her chin. Her chest rises and falls rapidly, her hands twitching at her sides. You can see the war within her, the warrior who wants to keep fighting, the woman who knows she's lost. Her breathing slows, her fingers flex, then curl into fists. You stopped, she says, voice rough with something that isn't just exertion. She wipes her mouth with the back of her hand, smearing blood across her skin. You don't answer. Instead, you take a step back, the blade of your sword lowering another inch. The moonlight catches the red streaks on your skin, her blood and yours mingled together. Anka rises slowly, every movement deliberate. The silence between you thickens as she stands, her body still tense with adrenaline. She wipes at her cheek, smearing the blood there into a dark streak that glistens in the moonlight. Your eyes track the movement, your pulse still hammering in your throat. You could have killed me, she says, finally speaking quietly. It's not a question. You incline your head slightly in acknowledgement. Her gaze narrows. Why didn't you? There's something dangerous in the way she asks it, like she's daring to admit weakness. You think for a moment before answering, the word emerging through, then intended, because you wanted me to fight like I could. Ich hab ein bisschen Gänsehaut gerade. Das ist ultra cool. What the hell? Es fühlt sich zwar eher so wie eine Side-Story an, die sehr verlängert wurde. Also es ist quasi wie eine Fanfiction von, oder kennt ihr diese Romane von so alten, also zum Beispiel damals von Halo oder von Warcraft oder so von Videospielen damals halt allgemein, Guild Wars, glaube ich, oder so gab's, also von vielen Videospielen gab es wie so Romane, die man lesen konnte. Resident Evil, genau, ich hatte die alten Resident Evil Romane damals zu Hause und ich glaube, ich habe sogar einen Halo-Roman gelesen. Und das fühlt sich im Grunde an wie so eine Erweiterung von der Spielewelt, die man bereits kennt und liebt und so, und das erweitert einfach nur noch einen Teil der Lore. Ich finde, das ist einfach geil. She studies you, head tilted slightly, the wind picks up, carrying strands of her dark hair across her face. She doesn't brush them away. You're not human, she says, as if realizing it for the first time. The words sound strange on her tongue, almost worshipful in their significance. Not completely. You feel something shift inside you at her words, something primal and powerful. The part of you that is still human recoils slightly, but the beast in you preens at the recognition. Anka advances towards you with cautious steps, her hand hovering near her dagger, but not reaching for it. She stops just within arm's reach. The moonlight catches the flecks of gold in her dark eyes. Ich finde es gut übrigens, dass man komplett, also die KI hat komplett vergessen, dass sie so gold, rot, schwarz oder so gekleidet ist. Das hat nur am Anfang und dann nie wieder erwähnt, aber naja. Your breath stills as she draws closer. You can see the exact moment she studies your face, the subtle points of your features, the sharp angles that weren't quite human, even before the transformation. Her pupils dilate slightly as she observes you. You're not like the others, she murmurs. The words come out soft and ragged, almost intimate. Her hand rises, hovering near your face, but not quite touching. There's a question in the gesture, a request for permission. Your skin prickles where her fingertips nearly brush you. The beast inside you steers again, but this time it's not bloodlust. This is something else, something older, something hungrier. You don't move away, you don't speak. Werde ich gerade angemacht? Hallo, ist es Bloodborne Dating Simulator oder so? ich darf offensichtlich nicht sagen, wir lassen es einfach mal auf uns zukommen. Alles, was ich jetzt gerade irgendwie theoretisch machen könnte, wäre irgendwie seltsam. Instead, you wait suspended in the moment as her fingers finally make contact with your cheek. Her skin is warm, the touch gentle despite the calluses on her fingertips. She strokes your skin softly, her eyes never leaving yours. The contact sends shiver through your body, igniting every nerve ending. You're beautiful, she breathes, almost inaudible, in a way that's almost terrifying. Her thumb traces the curves of your cheekbone, the touch delicate and possessive at once. You can feel her pulse under your skin, strong and steady. She leans in, her breath hot against your lips. What are you? She whispers, her mouth nearly touching yours. Well, what the fuck? Okay. Well, that escalated quickly. Wie heißt das? Wie heißt unterbrechen nochmal? Unterbrechen. Englisch. Englisch unterbrechen. Wir sind freundlich, okay? I gently disrupt her advances. And ask her if the plan if I could go with her from now on. Also ich weiß schon, das ist Major. Also wahrscheinlich könnte da jetzt mehr draus entstehen. Mitten auf dem Gehweg voller Blut und so, ne? Mit Monster da hinten irgendwo, die sich noch prügeln. Ist jetzt... Weißt du, es hat alles seine Zeit und seinen Ort. Und manchmal ist es vielleicht nicht in den Straßen von Yarnum. Das ist wirklich der Worst-Case-Szenario-Setting für sowas. You place your hand against her. Ich habe das nicht geschrieben, okay? Das ist... You place your hand against her chest, pushing back with careful pressure even as her body presses closer. Her breath catches at the contact, her fingers curling into the fabric of your shirt. For a moment she doesn't retreat, her body remains suspended, caught between instinct and restraint. Then slowly she withdraws, though her hand remains resting against your wrist. Oh, ich hab grad... ich schwitze gerade so sehr. Ich hab grad ein bisschen... Why? She asks, and there's an undercurrent of something in her words. Curiosity. Yes, but also suspicion. She speaks roughly from the exertion of the fight, but the question cuts through the night air like a blade. My offer to be a part of your journey still stands. I need someone who can keep me in check when my inner beast cuts loose. I think that would be the best option. What do you think? Okay. Ich meine, niemand hat was gegen tough, nice, was auch immer für eine Haarfarbe, Goth, Anime-Girl und so, aber, ne? Das ist nicht diese Art von Geschichte. Anka's fingers tighten slightly around your wrist, her grip firm but not painful. She studies you with those dark eyes, searching for something in your face. The moonlight catches the angles of her features, highlighting the sharpness of her cheekbones. Oh, ich habe gerade wieder Angst gehabt. The full curve of her lower lip. A strand of dark hair has fallen across her face and she doesn't brush it away. You need someone to control you, she says, tasting the words. It's not a question. She leans back slightly, her free hand coming up to rest against your chest. The touch is light, but you can feel the heat of her palm through your shirt to keep you from killing things. Yep. Das ist genau das. Deswegen wäre das ganz gut, wenn du da dabei wärst. Her words are laced with dark amusement and something else, perhaps curiosity or maybe even a glimmer of understanding. She inhales slowly, her attention never wavering from yours. The night air is cool, but your skin feels hot where she touches you, a sharp contrast to the chill that creeps through the cobblestone streets. And what would that mean exactly? She asks, speaking softly. Me keeping you in check. Training you? She moves closer, her mouth almost brushing your ear as she whispers, or something more intimate. The words are low purr and her breath tickles. Warum? No! 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 No. No. Also, no. I want to help you saving the the survivors and killing those beasts. I am still a human at heart, and I want to protect what is left of humanity in this world. Lass mal die Finger bei dir, Madame. Anka's hand remains pressed against your chest, her fingers playing slightly as if feeling the rhythm of your heartbeat. She studies you in the moonlight, her face unreadable. The street around you is silent, save for the distant sound of the city. Whispers carried on the wind, the occasional scuttling of creatures in the darkness. A cold wind steers the hem of her tunic, but she doesn't shiver. Her attention is locked onto you, intense and calculating. Humanity, she repeats, testing the words like it's something unfamiliar. You want to protect it. Her thumbs move against your chest, a slow, deliberate motion that sends a jolt through your body. Ja, ich möchte die Menschheit beschützen. Und darf ich bei dir mitmachen? I see, she murmurs, a rare thing that most of us have given up on the idea of humanity long ago. She steps back, finally releasing your wrist, though she still watches you like a hawk eyeing prey. Warte, ist das eine Yandere oder was? Her hand falls away from your chest, leaving the skin beneath tingling in its absence. Anka turns her head slightly, considering the moonlight paints her in stark relief. Her face half-shadowed, the sharp line of her jaw, the curve of her throat, where blood still trickles from a shallow cut. If you're serious about this, she says at last, then you need to understand what it means. She gestures vaguely at the ruined city around you. I will follow your every steps. sagen wir jetzt einfach, wir haben hier eine Meister-Schüler-Situation, okay? Anka's lips curl into something that isn't quite a smile but carries the weight of a challenge. She studies you with those dark eyes, taking in every detail of your face, the sharp angles, the intensity in your gaze. The wind stirs her hair again, and this time she pushes it back with an impatient flick of her fingers. You don't know what you're offering, she says, though there's no cruelty in it, just a blunt statement of the fact. She turns away from you, moving toward the ruined building where her gear waits. The moonlight catches the subtle play of muscles in her back as she moves, the confident sway of her hips. Following my every step means blood, she continues without looking back. I follow her. You follow Anka through the broken doorway of the ruined building, your boots crunching on shattered glass and splintered woods. She moves with the ease of someone who has traversed these dead spaces countless times, silent, efficient. Her body coiled like a spring. The moonlight filters through gaps in the collapsed ceiling, painting her in alternating patches of silver and shadow as she retrieves her gear. You're really coming with me, she says, not turning around as she kneels to check the straps of her pack. Her fingers move with practiced precision over the buckles, adjusting them with quick, deft motions. The words come out quiet, almost thoughtful. She stands turning to face you with the gears secured. The moonlight catches the curve of her face, the intensity in her expression. That means we do this my way. That means we do this my way. She steps closer and suddenly there's nothing between you but the chill night air. She speaks quietly, her breath brushing your skin. I don't have time for doubts or hesitation, and I sure as hell don't have time for sentiment. Her hand comes up, fingers resting against your collarbones. Good. The touch is light, almost casual, but the heat of her skin penetrates through the fabric of your shirt. You want to protect what's left of humanity, she murmurs, her thumb moving in slow circles just above your heart. Die ist sehr clinchy. Ich will eigentlich gerade auch so ein Ende finden, aber es hat sich noch nichts so ergeben. Her thumb continues its slow circles, tracing patterns against your skin through the fabric of your shirt. You can feel the heat of her touch even as the night air chills the space between you. She's so close now that her breath warms your face, carrying the faint metallic tang of blood still drying on her lip from earlier. And you think that means following me. Her words are soft, but there's a dangerous edge beneath them, like a blade rubbed in silk. Her fingers tighten slightly against your collarbone, not enough to hurt, but enough to remind you of the strength in them. That means doing what I say when I say it. No arguments, no hesitation. I nod without hesitation to show her my understanding. You get it. Anka watches your nod, her dark eyes flickering with something unreadable. She doesn't move immediately, her hands remain pressed against your collarbone, her thumb still circling in slow, deliberate motions. Then, after a moment, she exhales softly through her nose and steps back. The space between you grows, but the cool night air does little to diminish the heat she left behind on your skin. Good, she says, her voice carrying the weight of approval and something else, something sharper, like the edge of a well-honed blade. She turns away, securing her pack fully before pulling a thick leather strap from it. A knife sheath follows, which she ties around her thigh with swift, practiced movements. The moonlight catches the sheen of her knife as she slides it into place, the motion fluid and familiar. She doesn't look at you as she does this, focused entirely on her preparations, but you can feel her attention still fixed on you, calculating. When she finally meets your eyes again, she exhales slowly through her nose. You're still wearing that shirt, she notes, her gaze flickering over the fabric. It's the same one you wore during the fight, now stained with sweat and blood. Some of it yours, some not. She steps closer again, her hand lifting towards you with deliberate slowness. Her finger brushed the collar before sliding down the fabric, gathering a handful of the stained material. Can we please stop? Ich habe so das Gefühl, dass diese ganzen Werwolf Frau verliebt sich in Werwolf-Geschichten im Internet so enorm, sobald diese zwei Komponenten da sind, eintreten. Und dann, der will da ständig irgendwie gefühlt irgendwas in der Fantasy-Adult-Abteilung irgendwie draus machen. Und ich will Bloodborne. The fabric will slow you down if you have to move quickly. Okay, gut. Okay, fair. She murmurs. Her grips tighten slightly as she begins pulling the shirt upward, giving you no chance to object. The cool night air touches your skin, followed immediately by her palm as it flattens against your bare chest. Her fingers splay out warm and firm, feeling the solid plane of muscle beneath. Ich meine, wenn's andersrum ist, ist es ja in Ordnung, ne? And you need to be able to move quickly, she adds, almost as an afterthought. She studies your face as she presses harder against your skin, her thumb once more finding the steady rhythm of your heartbeat. A slow smile crosses her face, still not quite amusement, but something knowing, darkly pleased. Können wir, please, ich muss, glaube ich, einhaken. She brings back armor, leather armor from the back of the room, and you equip yourself with it. So. Warte mal. Leather armor and a hunter hat. And a hunter's hat. Ja. Wenn dann will ich auch den coolen Hunter-Hut haben. Ja. The leather armor fits you like a second skin, cool against your torso, but warmed quickly by your body heat. The hunter's hat's brim shadows your eyes as you pull it low, settling it into place with a tug at the back strap. Anka watches your every movement, expression unreadable as she adjusts the buckles on her own gear with swift precision. Better, she murmurs, though her tone suggests she's more testing the words than genuinely approving. She steps closer, hands moving to your chest plate to adjust the straps. Her fingers work with practiced efficiency, tightening the ladder until it pulls snug across your ribs. The contact is clinical, impersonal, yet intimate in its familiarity with the human body. Cool. I guess. Ich habe jetzt Ausrüstung an. Das ist gut. Ich habe nicht mehr das verblutete T-Shirt an. Wo ich noch Mensch war oder so. Her hands don't linger after she's finished, but she stays close, tilting her head slightly as she examines her work. You need to get used to the weight, she says, finger brushing against the edge of the ladder as if confirming its fit. And the movement. She steps back abruptly, turning towards the door. Come on, she calls over her shoulder, already moving. You follow the ladder of your armor, creaking slightly with the motion. She pauses just outside the ruined doorway, scanning the street with sharp eyes. The moonlight paints everything in silver, turning the shadows between the buildings into deep wells of darkness. There, There. Anka lifts her chin towards a distant shape, a hunched figure, stumbling between the ruins. Even from here you can see the jerky, unnatural way it moves. The way its head twists too far to one side. It's a walker. One of the... Ist das jetzt ein anderes... Okay. It's a walker. One of the things that have turned the city into a graveyard. Your stomach tightens instinctively at the sight, but you don't speak. You simply wait. Warte mal kurz. Das ist zwar schön, dass wir hier jetzt... dass wir jetzt Dinge erfinden, aber ich will natürlich schon, dass das so lore-akkurat wie möglich ist. Die Walker... Ist das nicht eher Zombie-mäßig? Ist das nicht eher so von einem Zombie-Ding? Warte mal kurz. Wenn mein Smartphone nicht 100.000 Jahre braucht. Oh mein Gott, ich brauche ein neues Smartphone. Ich will aber nicht. Warte mal kurz. Warte mal, andersrum. Ich mache Walker und dann Bloodborne. Vielleicht kenne ich einfach diesen Gegner nur nicht. Das kann doch sein. Wer weiß. Gibt es den Walker? Oh. Okay, es gibt die sogenannten Ethereal Walker, aber die gibt es nur in einem Bosskampf. Mit Mikolasch. Das ist in dieser Traumwelt. Ja, ich weiß jetzt nicht, ob das ist, was du denkst. Egal, wir erfinden einfach irgendwas Neues, was soll's. Anka lifts her chin towards a distant shape, a hunched figure, stumbling between the ruins. Even from here you can see the jerky, unnatural way it moves, the way its head twists too far to one side. Das sieht aber genauso aus wie die Dinger, by the way. Das sind so komische Skelett-Lauchmenschen in schwarzem irgendwas, in so Rauch und die laufen so. It's a walker, one of the things that have turned the city into a graveyard. Your stomach tightens instinctively at the sight, but you don't speak. You simply wait, watching as Anka studies it with the cold precision of a hunter measuring her prey. We'll circle around, she says softly, already moving left, keeping to the shadows. You match her pace, your boots making almost no sound on the debris-strewn ground. Ich würde auch sagen, wir bleiben hier mal. Wir machen hier jetzt Schluss. Also, wie gesagt, meine Vermutung ist, dass da zu viel Twilight und alles Mögliche mit Werwölfen und Romance und so weiter mit irgendwie reinkommt und dadurch die KI versucht, in diese Richtung zu gehen. Und, aber das Problem ist halt, ich habe natürlich ein Szenario gesucht, das quasi für Erwachsene ist. Warum? Weil man da natürlich expliziter Dinge beschreiben kann. Und Bloodborne ist nun mal auch einfach expliziter. Was in, sage ich mal, den nicht erwachsenen Kategorien vielleicht teilweise gar nicht der Fall sein kann. Es könnte sogar sein, dass nicht mal so oft Blood beschrieben würde. Und Bloodborne, das Main-Thema von Bloodborne ist Blood. Und da habe ich einfach gedacht, es würde sich seltsam anfühlen. Außerdem, das war das Einzige, was ich zu Bloodborne gefunden habe. Und da dachte ich mir, naja, wir probieren es mal. Man muss halt immer wieder versuchen, wenn die KI in diese Richtung, in die Sex-Richtung will, dass man dann sagt, dass dein Charakter dann so ein bisschen, ne? Abstand, Lady. Aber ich fand es ein bisschen lustig auf der einen Seite, weil normalerweise würde man ja schon so ein bisschen davon ausgehen, also wenn ich das jetzt als Dude spiele, ne? Und ich mache mir hier so ein Harem oder sowas, dann geht man natürlich all in, ne? Da hat man schon Bock drauf. Aber in dem Fall war es ja sie die ganze... Also am Anfang war sie ja komplett fremd. Dann haben wir gegeneinander gekämpft. Dann war ich sowas wie... Oder habe ich angefangen, sowas wie ein Schüler für sie zu sein. Und als ich sie im Grunde besiegt habe, aber sie nicht gekillt habe, hat sie auf einmal ist sie auf einmal ganz warm ums Herz geworden. Und das ist so... okay... Interessant. Ich mag den Charakter aber irgendwie tatsächlich. Ich finde ihn ganz witzig, also ich finde ihn ganz cool geschrieben. Ja, mal schauen. Ich weiß nicht, ob ich jetzt noch einen zweiten Teil mache oder ob ich es einfach dabei belasse, aber ich wollte einfach mal AI Dungeon zeigen. Klar, manche Sachen wiederholen sich, da gibt es sicherlich Dinge, wo man sagt, ah, das könnte besser sein oder so, aber hey, wie gesagt, man erlebt da quasi so eine komplette Geschichte einfach so mal so für sich. Das kann schon mal ganz cool sein. Ich mache das jetzt nicht jeden Tag, um Gottes Willen. Auf der anderen Seite, ist, ja, so wie gesagt, so ein richtiges Pen and Paper mit Leuten und mit jemandem, der das organisiert und so weiter, viel interessanter. Allein schon die Tatsache, wie lange wir da jetzt gekämpft haben und wo es gefühlt schon und wie lange ich jetzt quasi auf ein halbwegs okayes Ende gewartet habe für die Geschichte, das kann dann doch mal ein bisschen anstrengender sein. Aber ich muss sagen, also wie ist denn euch so ergangen? Also wie fandet ihr es denn? Also ich muss sagen, ich fand es eigentlich recht gut. Ne, für so eine Story mal so nebenbei, vielleicht machen wir die noch weiter. Weil das Schöne ist, ich habe dieses Ding jetzt quasi gespeichert. Das ist in meinem Browser gespeichert sozusagen. Und wenn ich jetzt sage, komm, lass uns die Story weiterspielen, dann kann ich hier genau wieder anfangen und weitermachen. Also, falls ihr Interesse habt, das muss jetzt nicht sofort sein, das wird jetzt auch nicht jetzt direkt nächste Woche sein oder so. Aber keine Ahnung, wenn's euch genauso viel Spaß gemacht hat wie mir, könnte man das auch gerne nochmal hier und da weitermachen. Aber ich bin halt gespannt, ne? Ist alles auf Englisch, mein Englisch noch dazu. Und dann ein Bloodborne, was nicht jeder kennt oder mag. Das könnte schon wieder sehr nischig werden, was die Interesse angeht. Aber ich hatte auf jeden Fall meinen Spaß. Ihr hoffentlich auch. Und wenn es euch gefallen hat, dann wäre es das Größte für mich. Wenn es euch gefallen hat, dann lasst ein Däumchen da oder schreibt einen Kommentar. Warum sage ich das? Weil YouTube sagt, wenn ihr das nicht tut, dann ist mein Kanal uninteressant und wird nicht anderen Leuten da draußen vorgeschlagen. Ist kacke, ja. Aber das hat YouTube jetzt beschlossen. Das heißt, wenn ein Kanal keine Kommentare hat und nahezu keine Likes, dann wird keiner meiner Videos großartig da draußen vorgeschlagen. Und das finde ich schade, weil manche von euch sicherlich auch random auf mich gestoßen sind und durch die neue Regelung das jetzt immer schwieriger wird. Das ist halt YouTube, ne? Ich will das nicht permanent sagen, aber in den nächsten Tagen werde ich das immer mal wieder am Ende sagen, damit die Leute einfach wissen, was Sache ist. Und dann hoffe ich einfach, dass die Leute es machen. Und wenn nicht, ist es halt so. Ich habe es auf jeden Fall gesagt und ja, ich bin euer René von der Maison Manga und ich sage wieder einmal Ciao, bye bye, bis zum nächsten Mal und vielleicht sehen wir uns wieder in Good Old Yarnum.